Hi, how you doing? I'm Nick George and I'm an artist, born and raised in Manchester, England. During my late teenage years, I moved to America on an athletic scholarship where I played high school, Division I basketball, and then following that I've just spent my life traveling across the world, whether it was with the professional team I was playing for or with Team GB. One thing that made me want to create was the fact that I had spent so much of my life isolated from a lot of people. You know, when you play basketball, you're almost in this bubble where it's just you and your teammates and your coaches, and although you're constantly around people, it can get quite lonely. So any problems that you have, you don't always have somebody to talk to about, you know, or you might not be comfortable talking to people about. So I kind of found this way and developed this habit of like holding on to it and pushing it down and, you know, not allowing it to distract me from my job. So when I started painting, all these things that I'd been holding on to finally came out, and it was like the best therapy in the world, you know, just having your canvas is like your best friend, for me anyway, where I can, if no matter what I'm going through, whatever I have to say, if I don't feel I can say it to somebody else, I can put it in my work, and it's one of the best feelings ever. How I grew up has had a huge impact on my artwork. There's definitely a lot of things that I've kind of held on to throughout my life that I felt kind of held me back at times. But doing the art just kind of allows me to get it all out, and everything you see in my work is very personal. And I'm just so happy that I found art, you know, because it's been a way that I can let all the negativity out and I can just continue to move forward in the direction that I've always wanted to. So for this exhibition, there's a lot more symbolism than I would usually use, and that's just because I had a lot on my chest. But one thing that I always feature in my work is the eye. Sometimes I might have multiple eyes or just the one. And the main reason for that is that if you ever want to know what somebody's going through in their life, you just have to look at their eyes, you know? Like, there's been many occasions where I've told people, oh yeah, everything's great, yeah, everything's cool. And then you'll have that one person that's like, are you sure? And I'm wondering, like, yeah, everything's cool. But it's because they can look into your eyes and tell that whatever you're saying isn't matching what's going on in your eyes. So yeah, the eyes will tell you everything you need to know. I decided to call my exhibition The Crossover because I'm just heading in a completely different direction in my life, you know. I spent a majority of it playing basketball, and following that I was involved with sports, basketball coaching, all these different things. The best feelings ever. And I also wanted to, it was also a play on words, because in basketball there's a move called the crossover where you kind of, you know, you might be dribbling down the court and then you make the fake, you know, cross the ball over in front of the body and head in a completely different direction. So, you know, it was kind of my way of saying, right, this is what I used to do, but now I'm over here doing this. And yeah, it was a scary thing to just completely say, I'm dropping this and going in this direction. But, you know, you have to be courageous in life. You know, whatever you want to do, you know, don't let anybody stop you from doing it. Don't let anybody make you feel that, hey, you've always been this, or you should be this one thing because that's what I'm comfortable with. No, forget that. Whatever you want to do, just go for it, you know? That's just how you got to be. I was walking down the street the other day and I saw that somebody had spilt like a strawberry smoothie, and the colours of the smoothie reminded me of a jersey of a team that I played with in Italy, and then that kind of triggered a memory of what I went through in Italy, and then that kind of, you know, flowed into something else. So it doesn't matter what it is, I can be inspired by anything, and that's just because I've travelled so much that I can relate any little thing to what I've been through. So, you know, you name it, it inspires me. When it comes to the style of my artwork, it's basically just everything that has inspired me, you know, pop art, minimalism, abstract art, neo-expressionism, surrealism, all these things I try and incorporate into my work. And so I don't really know what I would name it, but it's everything, it's just everything that I love, pretty much. Something else that you'll see that features frequently in my work is the butterfly, and it's basically my way of representing and talking about making that transformation and all the different stages you go through until you finally spread your wings and just bugger off into whatever direction that you want to go into. And you know, this whole process has been incredibly difficult, you know, because it's required a lot of courage. But one thing I'll tell people is never give up on yourself. Never feel that you're not capable of being what you want to be. It just requires a hell of a lot of work, and you have to fight. And you might get to a point where you feel like, yo, I'm not getting anywhere with this. But it's at that moment where you have to keep going, you know? So the butterfly is all about transformation.